Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is going to be how to improve your balance. So, have you ever felt just a little bit out of whack and you're like, why am I so out of whack right now? This is the reading for you. We're going to, for each of 4 piles, pull a chakra stone for what is a bit out of balance right now, as well as which area of your life is doing really well. And then we'll pull some advice about how to just feel more steady across all areas. And very curious to see what will happen here. We have 4 different piles. 6 of Pentacles is pile 1. 5 of Wands, pile 2. King of Wands in the reverse, pile 3. And the Strength card reversed, pile 4. This is a general reading. If you want a personal reading, there's info in the description box. Check the description box for your timestamps, and I'll see you at your reading. Hey, pile 1, welcome to your reading. And let's see, we're going to pull a chakra stone for you of what is a little bit out of whack for you. Okay, we have the solar plexus, and I'm going to pull like what part of your energy body is really balanced. And actually 2 are wanting to come out. We have the heart chakra and the third eye. So that's awesome. Okay. So your heart chakra and your third eye are doing really well, which means that you're feeling emotionally connected to yourself and others right now, and you can see beyond the veil. The third eye is the part of us that when it's in balance, it sees the big picture. It understands the meaning behind things, behind others' words or actions. And I really consider this chakra connected to purpose, like meaning and purpose as well. Like knowing who I want to be in the world. Although maybe that part is a little bit out of balance because the solar plexus is about your agency, your personal power, your ability to get things done. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles. So I think what Spirit's wanting to tell you here is there's some area where you're giving your power away. So even though you know what you want to create in the world, there's a little bit of an imbalance in how you're going about trying to get it. It's like how do I describe this? Sometimes this energy can be like giving to get, or trying to create harmonious partnerships with others by giving them what they want and then expecting that they are going to give you what you want in return. And sometimes that works, especially with people that are attuned to you, that are tracking what your needs or desires may be, and that are interested in collaborative relationships. Unfortunately, not everyone is like that, and there's some people that will just take whatever you give them, and they don't really care whether it's reciprocal for you on the other side. So there's something here where I think Spirit's calling you to, or inviting you, let's say, inviting you to be more mindful of those you invest in. The example that's coming right to my mind right now is like work and family. So sometimes, I know this has been true for me at moments, I can get stuck in my head in a way of like, well, this is my family member. I have to show up for them. I have to do this, this, and this. And yes, while that's true, and while that may reflect your values or my values in this case, how you show up for them may not be as linear as it is in your mind. Or so, for example, let's say it's somebody's birthday, and so you want to give them a present or a celebration, someone in your family, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to throw a huge party, that you have to pay all the bills for the party, that you have to send out the invites, that you have to organize everyone. Sometimes it could be something as simple as just calling them on the phone or sending them a text and saying, "Happy birthday, I'm thinking of you today." So there's something about like the way that you're giving and maybe your expectations of yourself that is a bit much and can leave you feeling underappreciated or taken advantage of because no one else is going to reciprocate in that same way. Does it make sense? And I think you have a suspicion of this. And using the birthday example again, like when your birthday comes around, what's going to happen? Is anyone even going to remember from your family? Are they going to make it important? You know what I mean? Are they going to match that energy? And likewise at work, just because you work with someone does not mean that you have to give them all of your best efforts and full attention. And it's a little weird to say, even like coming out of my mouth, because that doesn't match my values. Like I try to be, I guess even like more overperforming at work, but there as well, like you have choices. You can say no. You can say, that's not a priority project right now. It reminds me of the example that I see a lot in terms of like how to have challenging discussions with your boss or people that are above you at work that are asking you to do things. And I love the advice of, okay, I see that that's important. Here's the other things you have me working on. How should I reprioritize to get this done that you're asking me to do? Because I can't do it all. So do you want me to not do projects 1 through 3 that you assigned to me already and do this instead? Or, how would you like for me to make this happen? And if they say, well, just fit it in, then your response can be, I don't know that that's going to be possible. So it'll be at the bottom of the list for now, unless you want me to rearrange things. And that's perfectly reasonable. You're not a superhuman person. I really get that vibe with the Six of Pentacles sometimes as well, too, that it's like often very generous people, but who aren't always aware of their own limitations and when they're running themselves a little ragged or when they're pouring from an empty cup or running dry. So let's just see anything else, Spirit, that I'm missing here that pile 1 should know about how to have more balance. We have 4 of Swords in the reverse. So if you've been trying to balance by just resting more, maybe meditation, or anything to just like settle your mind, obviously these are amazing, positive habits to have in your life, but that is not going to impact this dynamic that's happening for you right now. But what is, Spirit? If that's not helpful, what would be helpful for pile 1? 6 of Cups. So this reminds me of a time when I was having a lot of conflict at work, and I kept getting tarot readings about it, like just, reading tarot for myself about the situation. And it kept telling me, like, to fix this situation, pick better people. And I was like, what kind of advice is that? Like, that doesn't help me with the person I am dealing with right now. But I think the message of that reading that I was doing for myself, as well as the one that's here, is, if someone doesn't match your generosity and your mindset about how to show up with people, you can't change that. There's no amount of clarifying conversations or shifting the way that you show up with that person to change the reality of them just not being generous the same way you are. However, what you can do is find people that do match that value for you or do have a similar outlook, and you can pour all of your love, attention, and efforts into them, and they will reciprocate, and that is going to strengthen your solar plexus and not deplete you. Something else I feel called to mention that may be useful for you is, the idea of being corded to someone or having like an energy cord. These are the things that like during a cord cutting meditation or ceremony you would do to kind of release the attachments you have to someone else. I've heard that those are attached to us often at the solar plexus, and that especially if someone's more like feeding on our energy. There's a connection through the heart when it's more reciprocal, more like a soulmate relationship, that kind of thing. But otherwise, it can be connections of the solar plexus, which really is closer to someone like feeding on your energy, or you being like a source of supply for them. So if you, in your meditations, if you want to meditate on some cord cutting or release in the solar plexus, that may be helpful as well. But overall, pile one, I just want to say, like, this energy that you have about you is so beautiful. This generosity, it's really wonderful. Don't ever let anyone tell you that, like, you are wrong or it is wrong for you to be this way. It's really an amazing quality to have. I think this whole reading is just coming through to say, protect yourself so that you can shower that love and nurturing on those that deserve it most. Okay, pile one? So that was your reading. I hope it was helpful for you. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, then you'll know when I upload. Right now it's 2 to 3 times a week. And I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for coming by. Hey, pile two, if you picked 5 of Wands, thanks for being here. We're going to start by pulling the chakra that could use a little more balance for you right now. And we have the throat chakra. Okay. And now we're going to look at which of your chakras are like strengths for you to build on right now. We have the sacral chakra. Ooh. And okay, 2 more want to come out. Solar plexus and the root chakra. So the 3 bottom chakras, that's interesting. And then actually the throat chakra is just the next one up because it goes, I'm going to put these in order. Root chakra, sacral, solar plexus. Then we have throat, heart, third eye, and crown chakra. Okay, so what's out of balance for you? Well, someone has crossed your boundaries. Maybe a whole group of people, actually, because I'm drawn to how many bears there are fighting here with this 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands is a card of conflict. It's about disagreements, bickering. A lot of times can be, I think of it as like passive aggressive conflict because it's not as clear in this particular deck, but usually with the 5 of Wands, like no one's hitting each other. There's like these wands and they're crossing, but there's not actually, it's almost like sword play or pretending or something, or people posturing is kind of the vibe that I get. But there's some kind of nonsense going on around you, pile 2. And the way to balance it out is to use your voice and speak out. Now, this may not be something that you typically like to do, although I get that I get that you can when needed. Maybe this is just an extra confusing situation because perhaps it's passive aggressive, or it could be that you know exactly what you want to say, but it's a work situation, so you're like, how do I do that? Or I'm hearing maybe it's about a relationship that has some like fuzzy boundaries and you're already partnered or the other person's already partnered. That definitely can be very awkward if like one of you is married and you're trying to clarify something or talk it through. I want to get a little more clarity for you about what exactly should be spoken here, because maybe you know that you need to say something, but you're not sure what the content of that message should be. So for pile 2 spirit, what's important for them to say here? How should they use this throat chakra? We have 7 of Pentacles. The Lovers, the Page of Cups in reverse, the Fool in reverse. Okay, I think the message here is that, look, I really tried to make this a harmonious situation and it just doesn't seem to be happening. And because of that, I'm not going to be taking any forward movement in this situation right now. And that doesn't mean forever. With the 9 of Wands and then the 8 of Wands behind it, it's like there's a sense that there's a possibility things could change in the future. But as it stands right now, there's not any positive energy here. There's not any like fruit, or what's a better word? there's not a lot of ripe possibility to take advantage of in this situation. With the Seven of Pentacles, I really get that, like, you planted many seeds and all of them have kind of died on the vine. Nothing's grown. And so it's almost like you're getting the sense that, I mean, if the crown chakra and the third eye chakra was here, I would say that your intuition is letting you know that this just isn't a place to invest your energy or to push more. But we have the lower chakras coming through. So it's almost like this gut sense that nothing can grow. Nothing can become stable and grounded here. And I think that stability is very important to you. And so it's like, if that isn't there, the potential doesn't matter. So why is it important for, I could see why you're struggling with this message, pile 2, if this resonates for you, because, I mean, that's not a fun message to deliver. And like, why is that important? 3 of Pentacles. It's important for this person to know that you do want to work with them and you have been trying to cooperate and collaborate. So it's not that you're resisting them. It almost feels like this situation just isn't coming together despite your best efforts. Yeah, and it's been heartbreaking for you. Like, you're really disappointed about it too. Like, there's nothing worse than really wanting something and putting your heart and soul into it and it's just not growing, right? But at some point you have to see the writing on the wall and say, you know, I'm sorry, I came in on this consulting engagement to create this impact and it just hasn't happened. I think we should call it. Or I thought we had a lot of potential together as friends or as lovers, and it's just not clicking for me. I'm sorry, and I'm really upset about it, actually, but I think that's the truth. And the energy is going to be understood by this other person as you trying, actually, whereas maybe in the past they haven't seen that for some reason. And that in itself may create a shift in this relationship. But even if it doesn't create a shift, what it will do is rebalance your energy system by opening up your throat chakra and giving you the stability that you're looking for by the two of you having an understanding and being on the same page. So no matter what the outcome is, it's going to give you that stability you're looking for. Does that make sense, pile 2? Really interesting. So this was your reading. Please leave a comment if you'd like. Tell me about the situation and how things are going or anything you'd like to share. You can also like or subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this so you don't miss a video from me. I'm usually posting 2 to 3 times a week these days. And thank you so much, pile 2, for coming by. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next reading. Hi, pile 3. If you picked the King of Wands in reverse, this will be your reading. Thanks so much for being here today. We're going to start by pulling a chakra stone for what is out of whack or what needs some balance within your energy body. And we have the root chakra plus the solar plexus wanting to come out. Okay, and what about what is really balanced and strong with you right now? And we have the throat chakra and the sacral chakra. Okay, so you're very connected to your creativity, your desire to make things happen. And you're very willing to speak your mind, say what works for you and what doesn't, what's going on for you at any given situation. And what is out of balance, though, is your root chakra and your solar plexus. So, and these are big. I mean, root chakra, that's a big thing to be impacted. With the King of Wands in the reverse, I'm getting that this impact or this lack of balance is coming directly from a person. So with some of the prior piles, it was like situational, or maybe like some of your own actions at times. For you, the action that's creating this is allowing this person in your life, basically. King of Wands in reverse as an energy is someone who's very impulsive, who I typically think of them as pretty selfish. They do what they want when they want without any regard for the long-term consequences. It's fire energy, kind of like run amok or just totally unleashed, untethered, without balance, which is why it's, you know, destabilizing for others that are around. This makes me think of, I'm talking about work a lot in this reading today, which is unexpected, but this would be like at work, this behavior would be the kind of thing of like somebody like accepting a meeting and then just not showing up, and then 2 or 3 days later, despite you reaching out to them saying, oh yeah, sorry, I had this or this going on, or I just wasn't feeling it that day. They may even come around and say like, hey, I'm really sorry that I missed that meeting with you. Let's get another one on the calendar. And you write back and you're like, okay, so what are some dates that work for you? No response. It's like, it's very frustrating to deal with this kind of person because, and I think you can probably understand this because all of us have been in this vibe at one time or another in life. And it feels like we're just kind of messing up our own space and things are just kind of chaotic for us. But truly what's happening is we're being destabilizing and chaotic for everyone and in every space that we're in as well. So this person probably doesn't know the impact they're having on you. And even if they did, they may not care is kind of the vibe I'm getting because this person is just very self-focused. More about the solar plexus and root chakra and what happens when those are out of balance. It's like giving our power away. The vibe that I'm getting from you, pile 3, is like, you know who you are, you know what you want to create in the world, and you're vocal about it. And if somebody isn't acting right, I think you say that. What might be missing here is backing up what you're saying with action. So if you say like, look, I really need you to be at this meeting. It's important that you follow through if you tell me you're going to be there. And the person says, yeah, okay. Well, then what happens the next time if they don't show? Or if it's a romantic situation, they're going to take you out and they just like bail on you or no show or whatever. What happens the next time? Do you give them the benefit of the doubt over and over? At some point, like there has to be a boundary from your side, and maybe you've been reticent or reluctant to do that. That's just one scenario, though. That might not fit actually, I don't think that fits for most of you. But okay, so for pile 3, please, Spirit, what else do they need to know about this situation? I'm getting for some of you, like, it's kind of more complicated than just, like, cutting this person out. King of Swords. I mean, it could be your boss. It could be your father. Doesn't have to be male energy. But I'm getting like this is distorted. This person's in distorted masculine, which means, just no follow through, irresponsible, not accountable for their actions. And despite you trying to make them accountable, it just doesn't work. Knight of Cups in reverse and Page of Pentacles in reverse with the 8 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I mean, this is calling for you to be quite stern with this person. I mean, Knight of Cups in reverse with Page of Pentacles is like offer nothing, don't be compassionate and understanding. Like be a disciplinarian almost for this person. It's almost a parental vibe of like, hey, you said you're going to call at 3 p.m. It's 4:30. I'm not taking your call. Fix it. Basically. But why is this important for pile 3? Like if they take this very stern approach, which I'm guessing might be uncomfortable for you, with a grown adult, with a grown-ass man, I just heard. If it's uncomfortable for you, let's ask, what's the likely outcome if pile 3 takes this approach? Ace of Wands. Okay, your passion and vitality will return. I'm also hearing that I should pull another chakra stone, which I'm going to do in a moment. The Star in reverse. It won't feel like your healing, development, and growth is so far away. And we have the third eye. So something about this will open your third eye if you take a stand with this person. And again, it's not what you're saying that's the problem, because I think you're saying all the right things, pile 3. It's your actions. Your actions have to be as clear as your words. And for some reason, this is going to bring some like fresh spiritual energy through your energy body in a really positive way. which, how cool is that? I mean, I would want to try this just to get that result, actually, because there's nothing better than that, than feeling really connected to spirit, really alive, vital, full of life. Interesting. Very interesting, pile 3. Well, I think this is your reading. I'd be curious to hear what you thought. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share more. Like or subscribe to the channel if you want to see more updates like this. Usually I'm posting 2 or 3 times a week these days, so that way you wouldn't miss a video. And I thank you so much for coming by. Appreciated having you here. See you next time. Hey, pile 4, welcome to your reading. If you picked the Strength card in reverse, thanks so much for being here. And I'm going to first pull a chakra stone for pile 4, please, Spirit. What has been out of balance in this situation, or right now in this situation? That's interesting that I said that. We have the third eye as well as the heart chakra. Okay, and what strengths does pile 4 have? And their other chakras, 3 are wanting to come out. We have the crown chakra, which is your connection to spirit, throat chakra, and sacral chakra. Awesome. So what's the situation here? I think you're feeling really exhausted with a person or situation. This could be like you're exhausted with your job. For many of you, it'll be that you're exhausted with a particular person. And the impact that it's having on you is it's bringing a lot of grief into your heart space. And sadness, which for me is what happens when the heart chakra is out of balance. And actually, spoiler alert, the way to rebalance the heart chakra is to process and feel all that grief, actually. And that is what like keeps it clear and open and rotating. The third eye, so your ability to see what's happening. So this person has been confusing the hell out of you. And if it's a situation, same thing. If this is your workplace, there's something about it that just doesn't make sense to you. And I think it's because you're doing your normal thing. I mean, with sacral chakra plus throat and crown chakra, you're so connected to spirit. You know what you want to create. You know who you are, what you're here to do. And so I think you're the kind of person that's pretty focused, pretty mission driven, pretty connected to yourself. And you just go about in the world in the different ways that you do. Creating meaning and harmony and making the impact that you want to in the world. And then occasionally, such as with this situation, you hit a wall and none of your efforts seem to work, and it's making you feel weak and frustrated and like, you know, why do my efforts not matter? I'm hearing this as one of the only ways that spirit can get your attention about like what's meant for you and what isn't. Because you're so talented and because things almost always work for you, sometimes a brick wall is the only way that spirit can say like, hey, you know, turn left instead of keep going on, you know, against this wall. There's something different for you or something better for you. But the situation has really been draining your emotional energy in particular, I'm hearing. And it's been very discouraging, which just makes me think about like the root of that word, like courage, which is French, which is about like the coeur, the heart. That's the word for heart. And discouragement is like loss of heart, loss of emotional energy. With the third eye being impacted as well, this person just doesn't make any damn sense. Pile 4, I just really get that actually some of their actions are to intentionally confuse you. And that might be weird for you to hear. One scenario that's popping into my mind is that for some of you, this is your boss. And it's an unfortunate truth, but there are many bosses out there that are threatened by employees doing a better job than them. Oh, it's interesting. My throat chakra is kind of like going out right now. It's like, no, don't tell them that. No, don't tell them I'm threatened by them. Oh, it's so funny. But just imagine, I mean, if you were kind of a weak boss and then you have this superstar underneath you, like, what are you going to do? If you're weak, you're going to try to also make them weak because you don't want it to be illustrated how terrible you are. It's the strong and competent leaders that are secure and someone outshining them or also being that way, right? So the same thing applies if this is a romantic partner or a friend. This person just does not like to be in a bad light. And anytime you're doing better than them, they're in a bad light in their mind. And so they're going to do whatever they can to throw you off. So this is unarranged. Like for some of you, this person does this very consciously. Like they know that they're doing it, they do it on purpose, and there is some malice involved with it. For others of you, it's unconscious, it's a defense mechanism. But whatever the case, I'm hearing like it doesn't matter actually whether this person does it on purpose. It's still nonsense that you don't need. So I think the message coming through this reading that Spirit wants you to hear is just like, hey, it's a closed door. It's a bummer. Like if this person could get their act together, things would be fine, but they can't. And that's not your job actually to fix that. Especially because we have the throat chakra out here and the crown chakra. Like I feel like, well, plus the sacral. I feel like if there could have been positive change in this situation, it would have happened already. And I think you know that. I mean, if you think back to a time maybe earlier with this person or setting where like you had more natural energy and emotional energy and clear sight, and you're going around like making your moves, doing your thing, and it felt like there could really have been some movement, like that was the time where this person started resisting you. And so that was like the last moment when things could have been different. And think about how long ago that's been, you know? Okay, what else for pile 4? What else does pile 4 need to know? Ace of Pentacles. With the King of Cups, you have so much within you, pile 4. Like this is just, I hate to use the phrase, but beneath you. It's just beneath you. It's a waste of your time. It's unfortunate because this person could have everything with you. But in order to have that, they would need to accept that you're better than them in some way. This is reminding me now of, for those of you that it's a romantic situation, the very discouraging and sad research about men and being with female partners who are smarter than them. And one particular statistic I'm thinking of is that if you're in a partnership, I think this was done just in the US and just for male and female partnerships. So it might not apply to everyone, obviously, because there's all kinds of relationships. But for male and female partnerships, if the woman made more money than the man in the partnership, he was something like 40% more likely to cheat on her. Like, what? What is that? But it's just like, there's just a very real thing that happens, I think, particularly for men when they feel insecure and they just don't manage it well. Many of them comes out sideways. So you just don't need that, pile 4. You don't need that. You need that 60% of other people who are not more likely to cheat on their partners or to create nonsense in the workplace because someone's better at something. So with the King of Cups, I think this is representing you in this scenario. Like you have so much heart, and so that's why it's like especially sad or especially a bummer for your heart chakra to be a little bit out of whack because it's such a strength for you. And Ace of Pentacles is about going through a new door. I don't know if you can see the little gummy bear going through this new doorway here. And starting something new, planting a new seed. So this could be like starting a new job, starting a new relationship, starting over somewhere. And look at that. Behind that, we have the Ace of Cups. So there is free flow of love and positive energy in your future. Pile 4, once you leave us behind. I'm so sorry. It's been so frustrating. And you know, life is hard enough. Why do we need people that claim to love us or want us around actively opposing us or causing us drama? It's just not how it should be. But thank you so much for coming by. This is your reading today. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought or how this reading applies to you. I always love reading your comments. And and subscribe to the channel if you like, if you want to see updates. Usually I'm posting here 2 or 3 times a week. And I'm just so glad that you're here today. Pile 4, thanks for coming. Bye-bye.